Hi everybody, my name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club, and today I want to show you something so very cool. This is a Lifesaver Jerrycan water filter, and you can get these guys. They'll filter just about any kind of water you can imagine. It's a 5-gallon jerry can. It kind of reminds you of the old military red gas cans, but it's for water, so mine's blue. And you can even pump this guy up so the water will come out on its own, and it has a shower attachment, so you can use it to do dishes or wash your pets or drink the water. And the coolest thing that I wanted to use this for and really hoped that it would work for is adding some water to my RV, or for us to drink while we're out here dry camping, which is what we do almost 100% of the time. And fresh water is our number one thing that we run out of first, that forces us out of a location, even though we're on a nice running river or on a beautiful lake. But of course, I'm not gonna boil water and do a bunch of crazy stuff to try and add little bits of water at a time to the RV. And it's also hard trying to pour water into your fresh tank because of the weird fresh water fill that they use on most tanks. And so I was excited to try this thing because you can actually pump the can up and pressurize it, and that's gonna run the water through the filter and out. And so we're gonna jump into some of the specs and some of the cool stuff about this guy, and then test it by drinking lake water, which I am usually not a fan of. I never do that. Even when we're like backpacking with my buddies, they'll use the ultraviolet lights and stuff for river water that's fast flowing. I'm not even a fan of that. But I gave this a try from a lake. And so we'll get into that testing and stuff like that right now. So here's the Lifesaver Jerrycan itself. There's the optional shower head attachment, which I highly recommend. Some extra carbon filters. There is the pump right there, and also where you're going to be filling it with water, and your outspout where the water is going to come out, and your filter is located down below that. This is the carbon filter that comes with it originally, and that's going to just go right into the outspout right there for you and screw on. That'll get rid of taste and any kind of odor from the water. It's just to make it taste good. Now we're going to go ahead and fill this guy up. You might want to use a pitcher so you can make sure you don't get sticks and twigs in there. I didn't do that. And we have to prime the unit. So we're going to fill the tank completely up and place the air pump in there, and we're going to run the entire 5 gallons through the filter. And this is going to remove the glycerin that's coating all of the tubes. Glycerin is a food additive, and it keeps the tubes of the filter wet, which must remain wet the entire length of its life. So this is an important thing, you guys. You can't really store this thing without water in it once you've used it. You need to keep some water in there and keep that filter wet at all times, or it will dry out and kind of ruin it. So what we're doing right now is we're going to run the entire 5 gallons through the filter to remove any kind of glycerin that's in there, and then it will be completely ready for use. Now this is going to remove 99.9999% of bacteria, 99.999% of I believe it's parasites and stuff like that, and then 99.99% of cysts. Nothing is going to be 100%. They will not let them say that on pretty much anything. That's why you always have a 99.999 on there. But I mean, that's about as close as you get to eliminating everything instantly. And you can check out more about that on their website. But now that we've run the entire 5 gallons through the unit, we're going to dump out the remains here and go ahead and refill it. And now we've gotten all the glycerin out of the filter, and we are ready to go. We're ready to use this thing. So we're going to fill this up with water, and I'm going to take it for a test spin here in just a second. You might want to use a pitcher, like I said, just so you can kind of check for any little sticks and particulates and things like that before you get ready to use this guy. But let's go ahead and give it a test run and drink from the lake. Adding the shower attachment right here is just an O-ring that you're going to put onto the outspout, and then you can attach the shower attachment right here, and that way you can take showers, do dishes, use it to wash off pets, or just, you know, have a little more versatility with how you're going to get the drinking water out of here. But let's go ahead and take it for a test run here. I'm going to drink out of that lake that you see in the background. All right, so now we're going to give this a shot here, and I'm actually going to drink this lake water, which I'm a little nervous about. But what are you going to do? That tastes great. It doesn't have any weird taste to it at all, really. It tastes just like the water that comes out of my filter in the RV. tiniest little aftertaste that I'm pretty sure is the carbon filter that I just added, because they say that takes, you know, a little while to get that carbon residue out of there. But really, I don't taste much of anything. It's just good water. So there you go. I'll let you know if in 3 days I have Giardia or anything, but that tastes really good. And I really like the filter. It's pretty easy to use after it's primed up. And this is really going to save us a ton of water in the RV. So there you go. So now that we've gone over some of the specs and some of the very cool stuff that's equipped and all the statistics on that guy, I think it's really incredible that you can run over 20,000 liters of water through this guy from just about any water source. I mean, I don't know how crazy I go, but it's DOT approved, Department of Defense, for military applications and use. So this guy's very, very serious about its water filtration. And that's why I put it to the test in the video. And as you can see, this is about 2 weeks after I did that test. I have not gotten sick, and I've actually used it in a lot of other places, and even to fill the RV, which was super duper cool. And I'll show you that right now, because I was able to just actually prop the shower faucet right into my freshwater tank fill. And I pumped 5 gallons of water from a lake into the RV. That's how much I trust this guy. And we're all doing just fine. Everything is good so far. But I wanted to show you that video real quick of how we actually pumped it right into the RV. Okay, so we have the Lifesaver can here, and what I did is use the shower attachment. And see, I have the rubber band just holding it on. And Justin, would you pump that up for me? Give like 10 pumps. See, so we have a good flow of water coming out, and then it actually just kind of sits perfectly in my water tank. And now we're just going to sit here and pump it until we have all 5 gallons into the RV. And then we'll just repeat that process using any water that's around. You can use it from a pond, you can use it from a stream, or if you're in a campground that just doesn't have the right kind of hookups, for example, say a water spigot that doesn't have the threads for a hose because it's not designed to fill up tanks, you can just fill this up a few times and get some extra water in there. 4 of these cans would get you an extra 20 gallons, and I think my tank's only about a 50, so this is actually pretty darn handy. It's a game changer. I'll let you know how it works. It's a lifesaver. So there you go, and 20,000 liters basically translates over to 5,200 gallons US. So that's a lot of water. That's almost enough for a family of 4 for a year, is what they say on the website. I'm not sure about those calculations, but sure. 5,000 gallons is a lot of water, and that's all you have to do when you're done with that is replace the filter. This does come with activated charcoal briquettes, little circles, and I got a 5-pack of those, and that basically eliminates any taste, like if you have a little chlorine taste or anything like that, it makes the water taste good. The filter is going to take care of absolutely all the bacteria and all the bad stuff in the water, and then the charcoal is going to make the water taste good, and it does. I've actually tried a taste test comparison between fresh water that was at an RV park compared to that same water run through the Lifesaver Jerrycan, and there's no comparison at all. I could smell the chlorine when it was pouring into the Lifesaver bucket, and when I tasted it, sure enough, it just tasted like that chlorinated city water that's not, you know, unfiltered, not really a fan of. And then through the Jerrycan, it just tasted clean and crisp and nice with absolutely no odors or taste. And so I think this thing is absolutely incredible. And if you want to pick one up, I managed to get you 10% off over at Armory Survival. That's where I got mine, and I'll put a link down in the description below that'll take you straight over there. And if you use the code, it should give you 10% off. And if that doesn't work, you can use the coupon code JIM. Usually it's adventure, but I couldn't use that word, so we had to go with Jim. So just my name, Jim, will save you 10% off of your purchase if you decide you want to get one of these. But that's incredibly cool. I've been able to put 10 or 15 gallons of extra water into the RV from lakes and streams, which is pretty crazy and not something that I thought was really possible until I read up on this guy and got one. So I think that's incredibly useful if you do a lot of dry camping or anything like that. Definitely RV applicable. And I think it's just really, really cool that that's a thing now, because if I want to take the time to fill it up and pump it in, I could refill my entire tank. It's a 50-gallon tank, so it'd take me a little while, but I could, and I think that's incredible. So whenever we need just another 5 gallons to wash the dishes before we go or something like that, or we just need to give the dog a bath, I can do that outside. Or I can pump it into the tank and we have more water that'll actually get us by an extra 2 or 3 days until our storage tanks are full. So very, very cool. Click the link, check it out if it's something you're interested in, and use the code word Jim or click the link to save 10%. And that is awesome. My name is Jim with Full Moon Adventure Club. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. And until the next one, thank you so much for watching and happy camping.